Palafitas usually it's a few square meters house where a family of 5 to 6 people lives. They have problems with diseases, water, strong winds, and the houses are about to collapse. Today I'm in a city called Santos, only 10 kilometers away from São Paulo, and here there are a few critical zones called palafitas. And this place right here, this is an upscale part of the city of Santos, but only 10 kilometers away from here there are these palafitas. It is a very critical situation, so me and my friend Gabriel from South American Memes are going there to show you how they live. It's very interesting and also very heartbreaking. Palafitas are systems used in houses near lakes, rivers and seas to prevent the tide from reaching the houses. But what we are about to see here is something not that simple. Welcome to Santos.
Tão natural quanto a luz do dia, mas que preguiça boa me deixa aqui à toa.
The place we're going now is close to the upscale part of the city that we showed you earlier. And as it is a dangerous place, the only way we can visit is to be guided by a local. So yesterday, Gabriel and I met a guy in the city who introduced us to a resident of Palafitas. He lives in a place called Mexico 70, and we are meeting him there. To simplify, this is Santos Island, and this on the west side is São Vicente. The Palafitas region extends along the entire coast of the west side. The guy we are looking for to help and guide us is called Baianinho. As we are not locals, we have to be with someone who lives in there, otherwise it can be dangerous for us. Baianinho works cleaning boats in the Navy and lives a few blocks away from the Palafitas. He took us there, but soon he had to go back to work. He has 5 children and makes about $292 a month. This is Baianinho. He cannot stay with us because he is on his shift, but he will take us there to meet his close friends that lives in the Palafitas. He just told me that when it rains, it floods the whole street.
Caramba, então alaga as casas também. O cachorro entra no esgoto mesmo.
We arrived at the house of Baianinho's ex-wife, and she will find someone to guide us for 2 hours, interview locals, and show us the situation. A few minutes ago we were at Santos Beach, a luxurious place. And now, we are in Palafitas, where there is not even a sewage system, so all the garbage is thrown into the sea, which creates a thick mud in the middle of the residents' houses. The place we are heading now is a house that Baianinho's ex-wife used to live, but she had to move out because the house was falling down, and we are going there to show you the house. I was very curious to know how the water affects the house and how they try to preserve it, and she explained it.
Eu vi que é uma casa que fica em cima
da água. É ruim, tem que ficar tocando os pés direto, porque senão cai.
Tem que ficar tocando os pés, senão cai?
Tem que ficar, senão cai. Aí a maré enche também. Tem vezes que quando ela tá de ressaca, ela enche até o beco mesmo pra ir pra rua.
E quando chove bastante também...
Nossa, pinga tudo.
E a madeira, essa madeira ela sustenta os móveis, os pés de vocês andando?
Ah, balança bastante, balança, porque é lama, né? Se eu trava, mas em pouco tempo vai cedendo. Ele vai, que nem o meu mesmo queria aterrar, porque tá cedendo muito.
Sim.
Se tu olhar dali, dá pra ver os pés, a maioria tá podre.
The house is really small. The kitchen and the living room are the same place, and it has only one bedroom.
Aqui é o seu quarto ou todo mundo?
Dorme todo mundo. Eles dormem no beliche e eu durmo na cama grande com o bebê.
During the recording, my friend Gabriel notices that the house is already collapsing.
Nessa parte da casa aqui, ela tem um declínio, né? Ela realmente afunda aqui nessa parte.
Aqui afunda.
Ela tá cedendo pra lá. Se você ver lá de fora, você vê que ela tá cedendo
ela
já
tá
pra lá.
De ladinho, né?
Aqui, quando você vai pisando também, você vê que vai meio que afundando, ainda mais nessa parte aqui que eu sei.
Ali é o banheiro, aqui é a área onde eu enxago as roupas. Caiu, o dali do rapaz também caiu.
It's common for houses to fall in that region. As we walked around the house, Rosângela was telling stories of nearby houses that collapsed due to extremely precarious structure. This is what it looks like under the houses, supported only by woods, most rotten and almost cracking.
A água é da rua, mas falta muito, porque nós não pagamos, né?
Sim.
Aí eu acho que eles fecham o registro para não vir para nós, para ficar para quem paga.
Sim.
Aí é difícil, ó, que nem agora de manhã acabei de chegar do postinho, tem que fazer tudo de manhã, porque depois deu meu dia, Eu arrumei essa caixa d'água emprestada pra me ficar enchendo de água pelo menos pra tomar banho.
Sim.
As crianças, elas estão matriculadas todas na escola?
Sim.
Só que com essa época do Covid, elas estão em casa direto.
Ontem a professora mandou mensagem pra fazer online, mas eu não tenho como deixar 2 crianças no celular.
Gabriel asks if there is any help from the government or any associations.
Ninguém.
Governo, nada?
Não, só o tempo da eleição que o pessoal ajudou, né? Lógico, pra querer voto.
Claro.
Deu uma cesta básica e só.
Imagine living in a house like this for years of your life, where the problem is not only the house itself, but also the floor, lack of water, sewage, and many basic necessities that the place lacks.
Dá pra mostrar ali agora. Ali.
All water that comes from the bathroom, kitchen, and all sewage water goes straight from the house to the floor. There is no sewage system. Everything is carried by the tide straight to the sea.
O esgoto, entendeu? É bem precário mesmo a situação. Bem precário mesmo.
All these houses that are in this precarious situation, which are supported by rotting woods, extend along the entire coast of Santos Island. The contrast is gigantic compared to the places nearby. There are 6,000 families, a total of 22,000 people living in this situation so close to the largest capital of São Paulo, also the largest capital of Brazil. And just a few meters away from this place, where people starve and live in an unspeakable situation, there is a navy with boats that cost millions of dollars. It is really hard to believe that there could be such a huge difference between 2 places so close to each other. It's very difficult to walk between the houses. There is a lot of garbage, rats, broken wood, and sewage. And the biggest problem for those who live in the houses is the wind.
O vento tem que sair pra fora porque senão ela cai.
Sim.
Ele junta tudo.
O
Essa aí é
meu
minha
irmão
nora.
ali caiu, parece que ventou muito aí caiu.
Caiu.
She's going to show us a house that fell some time ago, which is pretty common, and she tries to show us the place where the house used to be. But the only thing left now is the woods.
Fita também.
Aqui nessa região aqui, era a palafita do seu filho.
Do meu filho.
Então, aqui era a palafita do seu vizinho que desabou
Do meu vizinho.
com o vento.
The woman told us that another very common problem is fire. So in addition to all the problems they face every day, fire is also one of them. Even 3 days before the recording, there was a fire in the house nearby. That's something really common. These people have a lot of problems here.
Problema, cara. Incontáveis problemas, não dá pra contar na mão.
Here, where I am standing right now, is a palafita floor. You can see better there is a few square meters house where a family of 4 to 5 children lives close to the water, and the house can collapse anytime. A house that has problems with everything. Numerous diseases, wind, fire, rain, everything is a problem. And this is where they have to build the house that they will live in for a lifetime.
E nessas condições de vida.
If you look at this place from above, it's impossible to know where one house starts and the other ends. And if you walk between the houses, you'll end up getting lost. And humans are not the only ones living here in Palafitas. We found a pigsty among the houses.
Ó, tem chiqueiro aí também.
The most basic thing you need to build a house is a floor. And since they don't even have that here, people like the resident of that house build an improvised floor with rubbish, stones, and garbage to avoid the problem that if the house breaks, it doesn't fall into the water, like what happened with that woman's son.
Ela caiu.
Você vê até que ela tá torta, né?
É bem precário, o piso tá torta a casa, mas pelo menos eles têm um piso, pelo menos pra ter um piso. Mas tá vendo aí como é que é a situação das paradas. Nesse lugar aqui mora um pai com 5
Ele
filhos.
quis morar porque ele separou.
Você dorme tudo aqui?
3 dormem aqui, os 3 meninos. E o pai dorme no colchão no chão. E a Júlia e a pequena lá na outra cama.
She told us they don't have any food since yesterday, right?
Foi.
And how often does this happen?
Já porque depende do salário dele.
Sim.
Aí ele paga os 2 aluguel, 400, 350, acho que ele ganha 1.300. Sempre acontece,
Nossa,
porque
dinheiro.
5 filhos, né?
Sim. Caramba.
E mandaram eu embora por causa do coronavírus.
Sim. O vírus atrapalhou muita gente?
Atrapalhou.
Nas palafitas? Vai ter muita gente desempregada.
Tem.
We financially help the people who opened their houses to us during the recording. They live in a really difficult situation and are completely forgotten by the government and other public authorities. And what impresses me the most is that even with so many problems, the children who live there are happy and their parents work hard to try to improve their lives. Never forget these people. Every time you think about giving up on something, or when you want to complain about something in your life, there is always someone who has it worse and doesn't stop fighting for better conditions. But for those who fight, they always get what they want. Quoting a very famous singer from São Paulo, days of struggle, days of glory. And that was another reality of our vast Brazil.
A vida me ensinou a nunca desistir, nem ganhar nem perder, mas procurar evoluir. Podem me tirar tudo que tenho, só não podem me tirar as coisas boas que eu já fiz pra quem eu amo. Sou feliz e canto, o universo é uma canção, eu vou que vou. Histórias, nossas histórias, dias de lutas, dias de glória. Histórias, nossas histórias, dias de lutas, dias de glória.